Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will talk about tic disorders and Tourette syndrome in children. Now, what constitutes tics? Tics are sudden, rapid, recurrent, non-rhythmic, involuntary motor movements or vocalization. They most commonly involve muscles of the head, neck and the respiratory tract. The frequency of tic can be increased by anxiety, stress, excitement and fatigue, and these are decreased during sleep, relaxation, during activities involving high concentration, and at times through voluntary action. In some cases, premonitory feelings, for example irritation, tickle or a temperature change, can precipitate the motor or vocal response. What is the range of clinical tics? Tics are generally of four types. First is the simple motor, which include eye blinking, neck jerking, shoulder shrugging or extension of the extremities. Second is the complex motor, like brushing back one's hair bangs, tapping the foot, imitating someone else's movement, and this is known as echopraxia. Another type of complex motor tic is copropraxia, that is making a sexual or obscene gesture. Third type is simple vocal tics, such as repeated throat clearing, sniffing or coughing. Fourth type is complex vocal tics, like speaking partial words or words out of context. Now it also includes coprolalia, which means speaking obscene words, palilalia, which is repeating one's own sound or words, and echolalia, that is repeating another words or phrase. Clinical course of tics. Onset of tic is typically between ages 4 and 6 years. Frequency of tics tend to wax and wane with peak tic severity between ages 10 and 12 years. Now, marked attenuation of tic severity occurs in most individuals by age 18 to 20 years. A small percentage will have worsening tic into adulthood. However, new onset of tics in adulthood is very rare and is most often associated with exposure to drugs or insult to the central nervous system. Here are the diagnostic criteria for Tourette syndrome. For this we use DSM-5 criteria, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder criteria. For Tourette syndrome, 4 criteria should be present. First is the both multiple motor and one or more vocal tics have been present at some time during the illness, although not necessarily concurrently. Second is the tics may wax and wane in frequency but have persisted for more than 1 year since first tic onset. Third is onset is before age 18 years. And fourth is the disturbance is not due to physiological effect of a drug or a substance or another medical condition. What are the causes of a tic? Transient and chronic tic disorders such as Tourette syndrome usually do not have an identifiable cause. Family studies suggest a 10 to 100-fold increased risk of Tourette syndrome among the first-degree relatives. Now, tics can be found in association with a number of other conditions. First is the chromosomal abnormalities such as Down syndrome or Fragile X syndrome. Second is the developmental syndrome such as autism, pervasive developmental disorder or Rett syndrome. Third is the drugs such as anticonvulsant or stimulants. Fourth one is the infection such as encephalitis or post-rubella syndrome. Now, pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders associated with streptococcal infection and pediatric acute onset neuropsychiatric syndrome have been used to describe cases of acute childhood onset obsessive compulsive disorder or tics. What comorbidities or behavior problems are associated with Tourette syndrome? The most important are obsessive compulsive disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Other behavior problems include poor frustration tolerance, temper outburst and oppositionality. Learning disabilities, depression, anxiety, autism spectrum disorder and sleep abnormalities may also be present. Now, why is the diagnosis of Tourette syndrome commonly delayed? This is due to tendency to associate unusual symptoms with attention-getting or psychological problems. Incorrect belief that all children with Tourette syndrome must have severe tics. attribution of vocal tics to upper respiratory infections, allergies, or sinus or bronchial problems, and diagnosis of eye blinking or ocular tics as ophthalmologic problem. What is the prevalence rate? For all tics, it ranges from 6 to 18% for boys and 3 to 11% for girls. For Tourette syndrome alone, it is about 0.8%. Now, in general, Tourette syndrome is more common in males, and the gender ratio varies from 2:1 to 4:1. How will you assess a patient with suspected tic disorder or Tourette syndrome? Comprehensive evaluation should include age of onset, types of tics, tic frequency, elevating and aggravating factors, and a family history of tics. A medical workup should be considered for new onset tic, particularly characterized by sudden onset or mental status abnormalities. Basic laboratory measures include complete blood count, renal, hepatic, and thyroid function test, and serum ferritin, along with urine drug screen for adolescent. Also assess for any acute infection with cultures or rapid viral test. EEG and brain imaging should be reserved for patients with other neurologic findings that might suggest an autoimmune encephalitis syndrome. Now, comorbid psychiatric disorders, for example, obsessive compulsive disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, should be investigated as required. How should simple tics be treated? Simple motor tics are common and occur in more than 5 to 21% of school-age children. Now, simple tics generally do not require any pharmacological intervention. They can be treated by developing relaxation techniques, minimizing stresses that exacerbate the problem, avoiding punishment for tics, and decreasing fixation on the problem. Now, most simple tics self-resolve in 2 to 12 months. When do the tics warrant pharmacological intervention? Tics that have a significant disabling impact on a child's educational, social, or psychological well-being, particularly if they have been present for more than 1 year, may require intervention. And when the complexity of the tic increases or the diagnosis of Tourette syndrome is suspected, pharmacotherapy should also be considered. Only approved medication for Tourette syndrome in children and adolescents are 2 first-generation typical antipsychotics, haloperidol and pimozide, and 1 second-generation atypical antipsychotic, that is aripiprazole. Now, alpha agonist clonidine and guanfacine. They can also be used as first-line agent because they have less side effects. Because of the high associated incidence of obsessive compulsive disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, other medications may be needed, and consultation with a pediatric psychiatrist or neurologist is often warranted in these cases. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.